In no world will any college dorm room require you to get an interior designer. What have we come to as a society that we are getting interior designers for our college dorm rooms? Like, that's just mind-boggling to me.
So when I was going to college, I remember one of the first things that was on my mind is how excited I was to decorate my college dorm, okay? It is so fun. I love to decorate spaces, and I knew this was something that I was ready to tack on. I feel like social media is ruining how we perceive college dorms to look. And I feel like we're losing the plot here as people are now starting to hire dorm room interior designers using prohibited items to make their place all in the name of aesthetics. Now, before you come at me in the comments being like, I'm not saying you can't decorate your room and you can't make it pretty. You should want your dorm room to be homey and cozy and to express who you are. I am all for that. I fully support that, as I just stated that I was one of those people who could not wait to do such a thing. The purpose of me doing this video is for me to criticize the consumerism, the wealth disparity, and how social media has created some kind of like a competition on who can have the best dorm room. And what's sad is that this kind of like competition doesn't even feel like it's creative anymore. All these dorm rooms look the exact same. They're all pink. They all look like coastal grandma themes. They look like baby nurseries. I'm sorry, they just do. White, you got whites, beiges, pinks. And it's all copy and paste for like Instagram or TikTok. And I just feel like it's not actually showing off your real personality. This is what my room looked like when I was a freshman year. It had pink and green and white. My roommate was like pink, orange, and white. So we got the whole pink theme going on, but we had more colors. Like, I felt like it was really colorful. We did coordinate a little bit on how we wanted things to look, but I loved our room, and we got a huge rug for it because the carpet, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty ugly. So we got a pink rug, and it was cozy. It was homey. It felt like us. And I loved going back to my room knowing that I had this beautiful space to do homework in, to sleep in, to hang out in. This was also back in 2010, but you get my point. Like, it doesn't look like how you would see it on social media this day, and I'm so thankful I grew up with Instagram not happening until 2 years after I was in college, and there was no TikTok or anything like that to sway my decisions elsewhere. But I want to get on to one of the main issues that I have with dorm rooms to this day. And I'm going to sound like a little bit of a negative Nancy here, but I see so many of these rooms replacing furniture that comes with the unit already. They're also using decor that violates campus housing policies. Fun fact, I used to be an RA in college. It was one of the most fun paying jobs that I've ever had in my life. But as an RA, it was my job to enforce housing policies, and if I saw violations that were out in plain sight, I had to call out the residents. I had to let them know that, hey, this is in violation of a housing policy, and you have a certain amount of time to correct the issue. Just so we're clear, it was never fun for me to do paperwork. It was never fun for me to get somebody in trouble or have to tell them that they were in violation of something. That was probably one of the worst parts of the job. I had to do what I had to do to keep my job, because if I don't report incidents like this, I can get in trouble. So that's kind of why this sort of hits home for me a little bit here. We just had Alabama Rush this past week. I didn't follow it this year because I just didn't care. But what I could see was that a lot of the dorm reveals from the University of Alabama and University of Mississippi, aka Ole Miss, were going viral over the past week and a half. People showing off their new dorm rooms and how over the top and lavish they are. And I saw a lot of these girls who are attending these schools using contact paper or wallpaper to put on their walls, which most schools do not allow, mind you. You can't put that stuff on drywall, even cylinder wall. And just so we're clear, when you have to move out, those contact papers and adhesive wallpapers still leave a sticky residue on the wall, or they're gonna rip paint off. You're gonna be slapped with a bunch of damages. And I know that these are not allowed at these schools because I literally looked into their policies. Let me read it. Here's the thing, when it comes to decorating, these guidelines are intended to give a clear understanding of what methods for decoration are not permitted due to the potential for damage to the university-owned or leased property. Nails, screws, hooks, are not to be placed or fastened to the walls. TV mounts are not permitted. 3M command hooks and strips are not permitted on drywall, but they can be used on cinder block. Thumbtacks can be used on drywalls. The use of contact paper, wallpaper, borders, paneling, vinyl decals, or spray paints are not permitted. No more than 30% of the wall can be covered with wall decorations, including fabric, paper, cardboard, metal. Halogen lamps are not permitted. All university furniture must remain in the assigned room. All upholstered furniture must be brought into on-campus housing facilities, and they must be fire-resistant materials. There is not space in university-owned or managed facilities to store furniture assigned to student rooms or apartments. Therefore, everything that's been placed in the university-owned or managed room apartment must remain in the room and apartment for the duration of the contract period. It's crystal clear, and I can guarantee you none of these kids are reading this handbook. That was Ole Miss's policy. The University of Alabama, the only things I could find was altering of internal spaces, that you couldn't paint a room without prior approval or damage to the interior or exterior surfaces. Other residence halls are prohibited, like installing wallpaper or LED strip lights. That's also prohibited. So there you go. Those college campuses directly state in their policy handbooks for the residence halls that you cannot use that stuff. So these girls are already in violation of that, and they'll probably get in trouble with their RAs sometime down the road. Also, a lot of these people who do decorate these rooms are dorm interior designers, and we are going to get more into that. They probably don't even take these policies into consideration. They probably don't read these handbooks because they don't care if they just want your money. And it's basically teaching these women to break rules just so they can have an aesthetic pleasing place. And I also think what's wild is like the new furniture that they're bringing into this unit. I can guarantee you some of these things that they're probably bringing into the unit are probably not fire resistant. And they're also probably going straight to the dumpster once it's move out day. Dorm room decor has definitely turned into fast furniture the same way that fast fashion is. It's cheap, it's trendy, it's disposable, all just for your TikTok or Instagram moment. Now, I just want to say, if you are somebody who really wants to decorate your room for college, here are some alternatives that you can do that don't violate housing and residence policies. Like, if you want to decorate your walls, do some tapestries and fabrics. Make sure you're not doing it more than 30%. And you can use that to give your wall some pizzazz and color. Obviously, hanging posters up is great. Having nice big picture frames, like you see this one right there, like you could do something like that with a nice gold picture frame if you wanted. Fairy lights are great. The fake flowers and ivy that drapes down, like those are great things that you can do to add some creativity, pizzazz, and flair into your walls, so they don't look like jail cells. When I see this furniture that's being replaced and removed from the unit, which is also a big no-no, you cannot do that. I am seeing that these people are actually really hiding some of their dressers and chairs underneath the bed, because most of these beds will loft up, and they'll have bed skirts to hide all that stuff. Bed skirts are fine. Some people say like, oh, well, they get in the way, whatever. I think like if you want to hide the stuff underneath your bed, a bed skirt is fine, and it does make the room look a little bit more homey. But I think it's such a waste of money to buy new chairs and dressers when it's already supplied. Just remember that moving that extra furniture in and out is hell. There's no storage for it. And in May, you're probably gonna be dragging that whole ass sofa down an old building with stairs and no elevator. Just for what? Like, why put yourself through that? If you think the furniture is ugly, here is what you can do. You can use tablecloths and glass toppers, which I've seen in these videos. I think that's perfectly fine to cover up the desk. However, just remember that your desk is supposed to be for studying. Don't just make it your vanity. Because when I'm seeing these rooms, they're not really showcasing like a college room. Like, I don't see any textbooks, laptops, school supplies, backpacks. It's one thing if you don't want to study or do homework in your room. I just did my homework on my bed because I don't like sitting at my desk, but I still made my desk look like a desk. You know what I mean? And if you think your chair is ugly, just buy a chair cover. You can get one from like Amazon or something like that. They can be so cute. And if you don't like the dressers, just tape cute little designs on them or something that is going to be friendly to the furniture that's not going to damage it. Because, again, you shouldn't be replacing that stuff to begin with. It's just stupid and unnecessary. I want you to have a really cute room, okay? I want you the cutest room ever. I just want you to do it while you're following the rules and not wasting your money on things that you really don't need to be spending your money on, especially when the stuff is already provided to you. And now I want to go back to hiring dorm interior designers because this is so stupid. I said what I said. You don't need one. You don't. Just go on Pinterest, make a board, and pin the things that you would like to see in your room. Hiring a designer is expensive, it's not necessary, and not to mention, it takes the fun and joy away from you making the room yourself and your own. Plus, it's also not normal to hire an interior designer for your dorm room. That's not normal. Do not let social media tell you that this is normal and that this is what you need to be doing in order to have a cute room for when you move to college. This is only a small percentage that's just being showcased on social media. It is a highlight reel, it is not reality. Plus, I feel like this also shows the wealth disparity between the rich kids and then those who are not rich. Because all I see when I see these videos is that these are people that come from money, they have the money. It can make others feel bad because they don't have the means to make their own dream vision of what they want their dorm room to look like. And while there are budget-friendly ways to do so, that's not the point of this video. That's not what we're talking about. These rooms are just simply made for social media and aesthetic culture. It's not really meant for actual living. While that velvet couch and that shag rug may look amazing, give it a couple months. It's gonna smell like beer, ramen, and dirty shoes. I can guarantee you that. And also another thing I want to mention is that this isn't even just about the students that are moving in. This is about the parents who are living through their kids. They want to flex on how much money they're making on their 18-year-olds on who has the best West Elm showcase room of all their college campus. It's consumerism and it's insane, and I do think that the parents are a huge factor to blame into this. Colleges are charging thousands upon thousands of dollars for old rooms that have peeling paint probably, outdated furniture. No one is demanding better housing. I think college students do deserve better for their housing. I do. Because it has come down to people covering their beds with headboards that they buy from Amazon, or buying expensive neon signs, and peel and stick wallpaper. It's crazy that that's what this has come down to. But I just want to say, to wrap this video up, at the end of the day, your dorm is where you're supposed to sleep, study, hang out, live. It's not supposed to be some sort of status symbol for social media. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I'm not saying don't make your room cute. Make your room cute. I want that for you. I want that for you. But if you're dropping thousands of dollars on temporary furniture that's just gonna end up in landfill on the day that you move out, or hiring a literal interior designer for a room that you're only gonna live in for 9 months, you've lost the plot. College is already expensive as hell, and I do not want social media tricking you to thinking you that this is the reality, this is how it is now. If you want to decorate, I recommend doing it in a way that is sustainable, budget-friendly, and actually showcases your real personality instead of just copying what everyone else is doing. Because let's be real, in 10 years, you're not going to care about how many pillows you had on your bed. You're going to care about the people that you hung out with, all the fun lived-in experiences that you had, the chaoses of move-in day, and all of those other little moments that truly made college absolutely worth it, because frankly, that's all that matters. So, I'm curious to know, what are your thoughts on this? Are you one of those people who has been decorating their dorm rooms like this? Do you think this is insane? Comment down below and let me know. And if you like this video, do make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!